So with that, Al Young, 2018 Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you.
This is great. Let me just put this down. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much. Thank you, NHRA. Thank you, Stevie Wong, for saying the things that we all think about when we think about the sport. We really do. We are family. So, and I'll give you some reinforcement for why I think it's all family. But before I do that, I want to give a shout out to my wife, Vicki Johnson. Vicki, could you raise your hand, please? Okay. My best friend and wife of 39 years, the mother of our children, and grandmother to our 6 grandchildren. I also want to give a shout out to my, they talked about me being sponsored as a ET bracket racer. It was a real privilege to be sponsored by Ole Bardahl, and I've been racing for that company for 43 years. Oh, yeah, and for you guys, yeah, thank you. You folks don't know much about Ole Bardahl. He was just inducted 4 years ago into the Motorsports Hall of Fame with Raymond Beadle and Rusty Wallace. You know, so we're talking about the top of the heap, and he lives. He's passed away, but his daughter's running the company, and they live in Ballard, Washington. All right, I'd like to also, let's see, and the Bardahl people are there. Could you guys raise your hand? There you go. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Museum of History and Industry, where my Dodge Challenger is. I've raced that car for over 28 years, and they accepted it, and it is the only race car in that museum. It sits right, when it's displayed, it sits right underneath Boeing's first airplane. And this is an ET bracket car. So get your head around that, okay? Yeah. The other one is, I want to give a shout out to some of my best friends. I got it, Troy Johnson, world champion. Troy's back there. Raise your hand, Troy. World champion. Who got me involved in this. 40 years ago. He and his dad got me involved in this racing. Mike Schumer, are you in here, Mike? Mike? Yeah. Whenever I needed a trailer, Mike would supply one. And Dave Wheeler, my best friend we taught at Roosevelt High School together. Okay. I'm 73 years old. I've been racing for almost 60 years. That's almost all I know. But it's, this is a sport that was invented by American teenagers. Think about that. We're just racing from stoplight to stoplight, from a standing start, and it developed into something like this. Run what you brung is what brought me into this racetrack, into this sport. When ET bracket racing was just starting in the 70s, the advertising was, bring anything, And when I won my first trophy, I thought that was really cool, But then I decided to go for money. You can put in an extra $2 or $5, and you can split the money, the pot at the end of the day. And the first time I did it, I won. And I won $17 and 16 pieces of chicken. But then, the sport started to grow. The bracketeer, the news, Bill New, great guy, started the Bracketeer Nationals and advertised $5,000 purse. We just went bananas. We just evacuated the West Coast and went over to Boise. Then we finally, the West Coast retaliated by having the West Coast Bracket Nationals. Again, big purse. Largest purse supposedly west of the Mississippi. And then in 1978, we finally had the ET, the first NHRA ET finals. And that morphed into just, what it is now. But while I was doing this, we were starting to make some money racing, and it was a lot of fun, big turnouts, but I had an opportunity. One of my sponsors paid my way to go to Bristol, Tennessee, to see what they consider to be big-time bracket racing, and it was. It was the NHRA World Finals of Bracket Racing. And we go there, and I can't find, I had already used Gene Bergstrom's motorhome. I didn't want to hit him up again, so I talked to Sherman Hinton, and we ended up borrowing Chuck Swift's ramp truck. And we towed Sherman's car behind and goes, let's go to the World Finals in Bristol, Tennessee. Okay. We go to, we don't think, I never thought of it as very big, ET bracket racing, but when you get there, there's 32,000 spectators for a bracket race and 600 cars. This is in the 80s, and they had scoreboards, and I just said, oh my goodness, But visualize this. We're in the South. We're from the Northwest. Sherman is a black man. I'm Asian. And there's nobody in the stands that is either Asian or black. What can possibly go wrong? So anyway, but I speak fluent Mopar. And he speaks fluent Buick. And I can nod my head and fake it around Ford and Chevy guys. So we did really good, And we said, man, the South is cool, And so we're just astounded by the reception we got, and we had a great time. But the next day was a little bit different. Okay. We leave the track. We decided not to take the ramp truck. We said, why don't we just take the numbers off your car and drive the Buick GS back to the motel? Take the numbers off the car, drive the motel. Next morning we come back to the track, go through the racers gate, and they won't let us in. He goes, yeah, and we tell him, we're racers. And he goes, where's your numbers? Well, we took them off, And these guys are totally suspicious. No, get out. You're out of here, And they thought we were trying to crash the gate. We look over, I don't know if you've seen this movie, In the Heat of the Night with Rod Steiger. They had this Southern sheriff. Well, that was him. He was walking towards our car, and he's got the trooper hat on, and he's got the mirrored sunglasses and the 357, and we're done. We're going to have to go to the station, So he comes on over, and he goes, says to the guy, he goes, no, I saw those guys last night, and they erased their numbers, and this morning I followed them up on the interstate. They're racers, let them in. That's to give you an idea. That's all it took, just to be a racer? Okay. The South was way cool. But now, we're the ET finals around here, nationwide, 80,000 participants in NHRA racing, for ET finals. Amazing. Now, you did mention something about attention deficit disorder. I got to tell you about it, because I do have an attention deficit disorder. I have it all my life, and they call it ADHD. And you see, the problem is, what ADHD is, for those people who don't know it, I have some real difficulty focusing unless something is extremely important, intense, or life-threatening. And then I can pay attention, But I feel it's a lot of fun, and people call it a mental disorder. I don't call it, I call myself neurodiverse. and most other people, I call them neurotypical. Okay, but drag racing is extremely important and fun to me, and I really can focus when I'm drag racing. From the time I do my burnout, I go to the lights and put the pre-stage out, the stage light, and I'm counting the lights down, I do my launch, go through my shifts, try to find the other guy, and try to decide whether I'm going to take the stripe or not. I am totally with it. I am totally at one with what I'm doing, and I'm in heaven. It's just perfect. Going back to the pits is another thing. I have hit more cars backing up in the pits than anybody in NHRA history, I guarantee. To the point where when I hit a car and the person goes, dude, my car, and somebody will say to me, why didn't you park next to Al Young? He hits everybody. So, anyway, it's, I'll end this with a funny story. And this happened in late 80s when I was just starting to tone down some of my racing. And one of my last races, it was a super gas, super street combo. And I was in the pits waiting to be called. And I think it was Fred Hoffman I was going to race. And everybody goes, hey, Al, you got to race. You know, and so I hyper me, you know, I have to jump in my car, drive off, you know, and all of a sudden, for some reason, I looked in my rearview mirror. I have this huge rearview mirror, and I see this woman and her son waving at me, and yelling and waving, and I stop the car, and she goes, "Your battery charger," you know. And I'm dragging my battery charger now, 88, you know, and it's this young kid and his mother, and it turns out that they finally introduced themselves to me, and the mother was Janet Lang, and the young man was Jody Lang. We're all one family. They all understand me. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this honor.
Well done.